All right, so we're back for another episode of the podcast. I got a very special guest today. Maybe we can have him introduce himself through singing. Can
Wait,
we do that?
Sure.
What,
do you really want me to?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Wait, what do you want me to sing?
Sing your name and what you do, your occupation, your job.
Okay. My name is Jordan Rodrigues. And I'm a worship director / creative director at a church. And so that's my main occupation. That's what I do for a living, and just do the ministry things. But yeah, I'm glad to be here on this podcast.
Yeah.
I will be as open as possible.
Let's go.
With my inner self. And should be good.
That's all we ask.
Yeah.
Let's just be open. So you said that's your main occupation, worship and creative pastor.
Yeah.
Listen, that's not the truth, dude. I've been looking online.
Oh.
I've been looking online. I've been actually finding some information out about you.
What?
Yeah. I've been tagged in many posts.
Facebook.
Your Facebook.
I got hacked on Facebook.
Boy. I was like, the first time I saw your Facebook account, I was like, what? This guy made millions of dollars selling real estate? I was like, wait, what the heck is going on?
Nah.
So tell us about that. What in the world happened?
Dude, honestly, so like, I haven't used Facebook in a long time. I just mainly use like TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. And like someone like, I get all these text messages from people like, bro, like, so you're selling this car, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's so cheap. Like, I want to buy it. I'm like, what? Dude, I don't have no idea what you're talking about. So then I look on there, or I try to log in and I can't. And then basically I get like screenshots of like this car for sale. Yeah. And then I like start freaking out at first because I'm like, dude, this guy could do like anything. Like he could put like some crazy stuff up about me.
Yeah.
And so I try to like get out or try to get in there, but they make it so hard. Like they have like a loophole because once they hack your Facebook, they also change your email and your phone number. Yeah. So essentially, it's not even your Facebook anymore. And so there's a loophole. It's like, well, go ahead and put your email so we could send you like a thing to reset it. But it's like my email is not linked anymore.
Yeah, right.
Or my number. So it's like a huge loophole, and I cannot get out. And I tried calling the lines, and just like nobody picks up. So it's like I need to talk to like Mark Zuckerberg himself in order to like figure this out.
Yeah.
So it's whack. And then so now they're going into the crypto thing, and I still don't know. I like started ignoring it because I got like so like I'm like done with this. So, but people are like, dude, so are you into crypto now? Like, and like, we want to go on your course. And stuff.
Like, what? You're like, what a crazy life change. Worship leader, pastor to crypto expert.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I am into crypto and like stocks, but like not to that degree.
Right.
But yeah, so that was wild. It's still happening. Actually, literally today, I called my former pastor because in order to like to get out of or to get into your Facebook again, you have to have a friend to help you do it. Mm-hmm. And so the only person I knew that you have to be friends. So the only person that I knew that's techie was my former pastor. Yeah. So I literally called him today, tried to figure it out, and we still couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long it's gonna go, but like at this point, I'm just telling people just to like report it,
right,
and whatever happens, like I don't even care if like it just all gets all deleted.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
At this point, I don't care.
Yeah. So that really quick, that car was actually your car, just some random
car.
No, it
wasn't. Yeah, some random car.
Yeah. Okay, for sure.
It was just like a spam. So like if you probably like send money to the wrong person, you'll get like spams or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
So
that's super hilarious.
Yeah, but so it's wild. That's still going on. I don't know when it's gonna end, but it's terrible.
But by the way, I seen that post and I was like, oh, Bernice's parents needed a car, and I was like, yo, like he's selling the car. We should like hit him up and do all that and see if we could get it. I'm glad we didn't. You know.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah,
like I think like 5 people like messaged me about the car.
Yeah,
but it's unfortunate the world we live in that people want to jack your Facebook account.
Your friends, dude. They just want to steal your friends. That's really all it is.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, very lonely people.
And they changed my profile pic.
Yeah.
To like not like the best one. So I'm just like so annoying, dude.
Yeah.
Like at least pick a good one.
That's what you're most like offended about, right? Yeah, that they didn't choose like a really good one. Yeah.
Yeah. As long as they don't change it to like something crazy. Like my worst fear is that they like start putting like sexual stuff on there or something crazy.
sure.
I'm just like, what? Like, Jordan, what are you doing? I'm like, no. So
You're like, you're like, you guys know me better. I would not
Yeah.
do that. Yeah, for
sorry,
sure.
I'm scared about that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see what happens with
Well, hopefully they update the photo and do some really good one with like some, you know, with a 6-pack of abs and something pretty awesome like
hopefully.
that. Yeah.
I found out their like email, like, so I'm trying to figure out how to like, I don't know. It's so hard. But anyways,
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, secretly, I was hoping that like it was actually you because like it sounds like whoever this is making crazy amounts of money. Just the Brinks truck is getting
I know,
backed up into somebody's pockets.
Yep.
Hey, just let me know when you get it back so I could unblock you and then just bring you back.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, did you block me?
Because I was like, what's the point? You know, like he's not going to get it back. You know, like
that's
it's
true.
not. It's going to be a while. Like
I probably won't get it back. So that's the thing. I'm just like,
that's true.
Just let me know.
Yeah.
You know?
I was trying to find the reporting thing. I couldn't even find the reporting thing either.
Oh, really?
Crazy. Yeah, I couldn't find it. I kept trying to find it, like some really specific, but it just didn't. Reporting it. And then I get like a message eventually come back saying like, hey, we reviewed it. And actually what he said, it's fine. Like nothing's offensive. Nothing's crazy like that. So I don't know, man. Try to help you out. Yeah, but maybe it's a sign from God that you should enter into the crypto space, into real estate, because apparently you're killing it.
And
this is like the multiverse, right? Dude. Yeah, you're killing it. You're like you're gonna build a real estate empire or something.
Yeah, that's true. Look into that.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll see, bro.
For sure. Yeah. Hey, man. So thanks for coming onto the podcast.
Yeah.
Onto the show. So I got introduced to you probably like a few years back, maybe 10 years, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember like you were, have always been like a super musical guy.
Yeah.
You know, guy that's been into music, plays a bunch of instruments, writes his own music, writes his own songs.
Yeah.
So we wanted to kind of take that angle and talk about essentially, like church music, worship music, your songwriting, process, like your creative process.
Yeah.
How you go about writing music, like what inspires you. How do you know when you have like a good idea or when you're like, this idea is not that great, kind of get rid of it. Yeah. And then, but ultimately, like also just want to see like if you can share some of like your knowledge and your wisdom in terms of like people that are involved in like music, involved in worship industry. Maybe there's some tools and some tips you can kind of like, provide from and like lessons that maybe that you've like learned along the way. So, so it's kind of a little bit of the angle that we're going at. So I'm curious, like really quick, how did you even start in music? Like what was your beginning?
My beginning was I started like with band. So like in elementary school, I was playing the little snare drum.
Yeah.
And then and so I have like an origin story of how I actually, because church had like a big part to play.
Sure, yeah.
So basically started in band, and then my dad really like wanted to invest in me and like because he knew that I loved music. So then he bought me like a really cheap guitar and amp, like one of those Line 6 metal guitar amps, you know? Yeah, so everybody has those. Played like Master of Puppets on those.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I was just doodling on the guitar and getting better and better. And then actually Salvation Army, which is crazy, had in Visalia, California, they were having like musical classes, just free. So I was like, what? So then I went to that, probably, I don't even know how old I was, probably like 10, somewhere around there. I was like middle school or something like that.
Yeah.
And then this guy named Abraham Guevara, which if you guys know him, he taught me like take it all on the guitar. Take it all. And then from there, I just went on YouTube and kept learning. But eventually, I started to play drums in church as well on the worship team. And then after that, I started leading worship like around like age 15 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I was leading worship there for a while. But yeah, that was kind of like how I got into music. That was like my onboarding thing. Yeah. And then I just kept going with it, fell in love with it. And then around high school, I got into producing, like just like dabbling with like EDM stuff and all that. And then started loving that, and then got really big into producing. And so that's been like my process. But yeah, dude, I feel like it's all been like God's kind of like thing to get me into music, and like how he's kind of using me at the church now. And like different gifts and skills that I had to acquire through all that process.
Yeah, along the way.
Yeah, to serve in his ministry in that side of worship. And in the creative process. But
Yeah.
So it's been cool, man.
Yeah. That's awesome. So really quick, what was your first song that you learned
To play?
how to play? Yeah, because you said Master of Puppets. I feel like there's always one song I think that it's a hard song, but that everybody somehow learns how to play, which is like Stairway to Heaven.
I did
Like,
I did that one.
right? Okay.
There's a song called like Catch Scratch Fever. That's like probably one of the first songs that I learned.
Yeah.
Stairway to Heaven's up probably like one of the first ones. But yeah. But you know what's crazy is before guitar, like I would always sing. Like I would always sing even without guitar and stuff.
Yeah.
Just like cartoon music.
Right.
Like really dumb ones. Really bad cartoons.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say.
Such as give us an example.
Should I say? Am I allowed?
Yeah, go for it.
South Park the movie, like the very first one, dude. Like very creative songs.
Yeah, yeah.
But I would sing those, and my mom speaks Spanish, so she didn't know.
She knew what you were saying. Yeah.
And so I was singing. She'd be like, "Oh, qué bueno, qué bonito." Mijo."
Yeah.
And so I learned how to sing through like one of the characters, Stan.
Dude, that's hilarious. I'm glad you didn't say Kenny.
No,
I'd be like, that's like,
wait, how do you do that? No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. Anyways,
No, I'm just kidding.
yeah. Yeah.
So anyways, so then through that, and then I would like one of the first Nintendo, I don't know if it was DS, I don't know what it was, but it was like the one you flip.
Yeah.
Had like a recording thing on there.
Okay.
And that was like new to devices, and so I remember recording a song that's like, "Oh, look what you've done, you made a fool of everyone." Do you know that song?
No, I've never heard
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Well, that was like the first song I ever recorded, and I showed it to
Yeah.
my brothers. They're like, "Wait, you could like sing pretty well." I was like, "Oh, cool." So I kept recording and stuff on that little thing, and then like, the first song I sang live was "I'm Yours" in high school.
Yeah.
Like
With
live.
Like Jason.
Yeah,
Jason Mraz?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was the first song I sang live, but yeah, really good memories, man.
Yeah.
Great memories.
Do you come from a musical family, or is it just
No.
your dad was just like this?
No.
My son can sing or play, or he has a desire, or maybe he just has too much energy. I need to,
But
focus the attention on something else.
I was kind of wild as a kid. Like I would run around. I was like super chubby and like, so I don't know why I said that, but I don't know what to do with anything.
It's relatable. It's relatable. That's why.
Anyways,
Yeah.
so then, yeah, my dad was like very in music as far as listening to music, not really like playing music.
Yeah.
But he'd be like, oh, like he would pay me to like learn certain songs, like Master Puppets and stuff.
Are you
Like, if you
serious?
learn this song, I'll give you like $10. I was like, what?
Yeah.
$10?
Yeah.
So I would learn these songs. So my dad was very into like the rock and roll kind of stuff, and my mom was very into like Spanish music, like bandas and like what's his name? Who sings Tortugas? That guy, Juan Sebastian. Like a lot of those balidas.
Yeah, ballads. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so had like that range of music that was like two separate things, but but they all loved the 80s as well, and like very cool. Like
that's cool. So it's like a lot of like musical diversity, not just like one specific genre, but pretty much like all across the board. Is that like basically the way you kind of see music now too? Like you
for sure
like music just all genres across the board, or
oh yeah, there's not one style of music that I don't like.
Yeah.
Unless there's one time we went to Ecuador actually on a mission trip with Salvation Army.
Right.
And there was like these ladies that were singing like super chipmunk style.
Yeah.
That's like the only style that I'm just like, what the heck?
It wasn't
is
for
that,
you.
bro?
Yeah.
I don't even know what style that was.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was like I have a video of that.
Okay.
But anyway, it like hurt my ears, bro.
Yeah.
Had to walk out of the church.
So was it like a cult? It must have been like a cultural style of music, right? Like a cultural maybe thing.
It was definitely cultural, but even within the culture, it was like a small niche within that culture.
Okay.
It's very interesting. Like, we've never heard that type of like singing before.
Okay.
Like super high, like really, really high.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to like the diversity of music. Yeah, I love like all types of music. I love to produce all types of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. So I'm kind of curious about a couple things. Well, this is just like a really random, not necessarily a random question, but like, what's your favorite musical artist? Then I'm curious, or like, what are like if you had to kind of point to a couple of them.
Dude, it's hard with that one because it's like asking like, what's your favorite movie?
Right.
Or it's really hard to pinpoint who's your favorite.
A few, yeah.
So like, I'm really bad with like artist names.
Yeah.
which is really bad. But I'm more of like, oh, I love this song, or like,
Yeah.
So I really like 1975.
Okay.
They're probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Just because of the feel that they have. But man, I don't even know like who's like my favorite artist. But I would say I have favorite songs.
Yeah.
Like, probably my favorite song is that Rainbow Connection song.
I don't know. I've never heard that. No, I haven't heard that song. No, Rainbow Connections. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know who wrote it, but it's either Willie Nelson or the Kermit the Frog. Because I saw him sing it first. It's like a fake.
Adrian, does that sound familiar?
Nope. I know Kermit the Frog sounds familiar, but
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, same. Same.
Dude,
Okay.
that song is so good.
Okay.
Like words, melodically,
Yeah.
like the story of it. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
So we're talking like a kid. Is it like a kid song? Kind of, sort of. Or
Yeah,
is
it's
it
like both. It's like both.
Okay.
Actually, no.
Can you sing it for us in the Kermit the Frog style voice?
What are you asking me? Okay. Okay, hold on. Dude, okay. Hold on. Here we go. Let me get my Kermit.
We'll close our eyes. How about this? We're gonna make it easier. Let's all close our eyes.
Okay.
Yeah. You that listen to the podcast, if you're driving, don't close your eyes. Keep your eyes on the road.
Right.
But let this just sink into your soul.
Okay, here it goes. It goes. No, okay. I'm trying to figure out the lyrics. Oh, you know what I'm talking about.
Need some help?
Yeah. You
Adrian,
know
pull
it?
up the lyrics.
Yeah, lyrics.
We're gonna
get the
go.
lyrics.
Yeah, we'll get them up here.
What's the name of the song again?
It's called Rainbow Connection. I just need the first lyrics.
Dude, we got you. Don't worry about
I
it.
think that first line, I'll sing it like Kermit the Frog. So
Like
hard
Kermit
right
the,
now.
yeah, let's go. Yes.
You guys ain't ready for this Kermit the Frog.
Yeah. Listeners, hold on tight. Brace yourselves.
That first lyric.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm pulling it up.
Oh, no worries. No
Yeah,
worries.
yeah, you're good. Okay,
It's
okay.
coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
Coming, y'all.
Okay, for sure. So maybe like a few bands that you're like, I really, really like, but generally like you're about
Like
songs,
the song itself. Yeah.
Songs themselves. Do you focus on music or do the music aspect of it, or do you focus on lyrics, melody?
I used to, like, there was one point where it was like, oh man, that's a sick like song. It has this instrumentation that's so sick, and then other times be like, man, the words of this song is so good.
Yeah.
But I think now I like listen to the blend of it.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't care if it's too like a good thing is like a song should be good with crazy instrumentation and without instrumentation.
Stripped down.
Yeah, like stripped down, like
Right.
just acoustic.
Yeah.
So that's what I look for. I'm like, oh, this song is a good song if you just stripped it down to just the roots, you know?
Yeah. I'll say one of the songs I think that's really dope. That's I think people really, really liked it, and then they heard it like an acoustic, and
Yeah.
it like made the song even blow up even more. It's like Everlong.
Oh
Foo
yeah,
Fighters,
yeah, that's
right?
so true.
So I think
Yeah.
Dave Grohl, I think he played it, I think one time like on Howard Stern or something.
Mm.
And then when he played it on Howard Stern, acoustically, it was like,
Crazy, yeah.
dude, it was
I
like,
remember
yeah,
that.
really crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah. Yep.
Are you like putting lyrics right here?
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and pull up the lyrics
That's
for you
wild.
just to make it, just to,
Gosh, you guys are going
to get it
full
for ya.
karaoke right here.
yeah, for sure. We got you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
what I look for in music is like,
Uh-huh.
or in songs specifically, is
Yeah.
like, if it's one of those like songs, because there's like a difference between like a song that's like a pop song
Yeah.
versus like this is just like a saxophone solo jazz.
Sure.
thing, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there it is.
There it is.
Ready?
Yeah. So really quick, I'll just say, if you're listening to the podcast, I encourage you guys to watch the episodes on YouTube. The episodes are up on YouTube, so you can find us on YouTube at SoCal Division, and you can actually see our reactions. You can see the screen, you can see the lyrics, and you can also see, what's up there. So,
Here it comes. Ready?
Jordan, take it away.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? What's on the other side? Rainbows are visions, but only illusions. Rainbows have nothing to hide. So we've been told, and some choose to believe it. I know they're wrong, wait and see. Someday we'll find it The Dreamers and Me.
Hey,
There it is. Kermit the Frog.
Yes.
Alrighty.
You got a standing O.
Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Man, that's what I'm
You
talking
guys ever
about.
heard that song before?
I think now that after you sang it in the Kermit the Frog voice, it kind of came back to me a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like a very old song. It's like was sung like in the 80s. 90s.
Right.
It's like,
Hey, Pac, do you think
Yeah.
we can still post it on YouTube? Because it sounds exactly like Kermit.
Yeah.
Like, just like, if they're not watching it on YouTube, they're just listening. Oh, yeah. They're going to be like,
Yeah, we
He
might
was
get sued
there?
for copyright infringement or something. Don't worry, we're not monetizing this. We make sure you send all your monetary compensation to the
of course.
what is it? The Henderson.
Oh, yeah.
something, whatever it's called.
Henderson Foundation.
Henderson Foundation. There we go. Yeah, for sure. Hey, but this is really dope though.
Yeah.
If they ever need a Kermit the Frog,
You know where to find me.
You know where to find them. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, just don't find him on Facebook because it's the wrong guy. It's not the same person.
That's right.
For sure. Okay, cool. Man, that was awesome. That's great.
Yeah, thanks.
So okay, cool. So we're talking about we talked about basically like some of your favorite songs, your favorite artists and stuff, and obviously like your current kind of gig right now is to be working for a church, to be helping you out at a church. I'm curious, like what drew you to that, to specifically like try to make music for the church.
Yeah. I think that like generally like within the Christian world, there's like not a lot of like most of the songs are written by like a couple of artists,
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of when we sing at church, everybody knows like What a Beautiful Name,
Right.
like all these big hitters, Firm Foundation, whatever.
Yeah.
And those are great songs, but the thing is like your church needs to have their own songs because every church is a different body. Every church has its own need and different people with different needs. And so I think writing specifically for your church is powerful because even though you're singing like, Firm Foundation or whatever, your church, if you sing a song that's specific to what your church is going through as a whole, then I feel like the breath of God really moves in that song and people like really get a hold of that song.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's important for like each church, at least, even if you're not planning to like release it or something crazy like that,
Yeah.
even to have like songs that is like specific for your church and what it's going through, I think is super powerful. And I think God moves within those songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious then, do you think maybe in that case there might be some, I'm gonna use this word for lack of a better word. Do you think there's like potentially like some kind of like some like traps in the sense of like churches trying to play the most newest, the most current kind of like music because it's like the trendy thing.
Yeah.
It's what's popular.
Yeah.
Where you're always chasing that. You're always chasing like that rabbit. You're always like trying to get it. Trying to get to the
curve.
Yeah, or like get to the pot of gold and then the rainbow.
Yeah.
But it's like music's always shifting. But kind of like what it sounds like you're saying. Like there's something unique and like very special about actually knowing your own community, your own congregation.
Yeah.
And being able to write and speak to that specific kind of
Right.
community, right? That's kind of what
Yeah,
you're
for
saying.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think there is like getting caught in the whole we have to do what that church is doing, or like, this church is doing this song, so we got to do it because they're super cool and like
Right.
whatever. Right now, it's like the LED screens. Like everybody has to have LED screens
Yeah.
behind them, or else you can't worship the correct way. No.
Yeah.
But like, what's it called? Yeah, I think there is a trap in that. If that's all you do, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's like reaching the right, like if you have, like let's say like there's a song that I don't agree with, like that's a newer song and I personally don't like it, but the youth likes it and that's the next generation, then I will sing that song because of the youth, thinking of them. Like if that's how they like to worship God
Yeah.
and that's their avenue, it's like I will do that song.
Right.
So I think if you do it for that reason, then it's super helpful and super forward. But if you're just doing it to follow a trend, then that's where you could get tricky.
Right.
For sure, because you're not doing it for God anymore. It's like you're just doing it to be cool.
Right.
But yeah, so I would say there's a place for those songs, the newer things or newer trends for sure.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, what I think is kind of cool, and you just kind of mentioned it, is that like, let's say like worship ministry, whether it's pastoral ministry or like wherever it is that God has placed you, even if like you're not involved in a church, even if you have like a 9-to-5 job, even if you're like a barista, or if or you're like in school, or maybe you're like you're a bookkeeper, whatever it is, like the point is that like there's like a purpose in you being there, and you like being able to contribute something to that specific like group, because that's kind of what you were like mentioning, like this idea of like the church having unique identities and you being a member of it, like being able to speak to it. And I think that applies into like a lot of other places in our normal like life, right? God has placed us in different locations, and every place is like a type of like mission field, or every place is a type of like location where we can serve, and you can serve that specific group, whether it's your coworkers, your fellow like students, even your family.
For sure. Yeah, so I do think it's like you gotta kind of like cater to your audience in a sense, or like be tailored to it, because like that new trendy thing might not work for a certain type of people or a certain type of church. I know a few churches that are like in Fresno right now, and like if you were to do that new trendy song, the congregation would be like, what the heck is this, because it's mainly more like 30-year-olds and up,
right?
And so if you're doing more like how great is our God type of stuff, or like things that are more familiar, or things that they grew up with, it's like if that's how they worship, then it's like those are the songs you want to do. Like you don't want to force anything. But like I said, if you have that new generation, they're like, man, I love that new song, that new trend, then that's what you want to go for.
Right.
It's all about just how can I serve the kingdom, and how can I play a certain type of like music or style according to where I'm at, where God has put me. And that's even like with like gospel music, there's some churches that are like, they'll just do gospel music, some that just do like corridos, some that do like all Hillsong. And so it's like, what is your culture in your church? I think figure that out is like super important.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to go to a church that's like all Bethany and just go in with like corridos and stuff,
Right. It won't land the same.
Right,
yeah. Well, it's like language, right? Music is like basically like genre and stuff. It's like a type of language.
Yeah.
Right. And there are like people have preferences or ways that they can understand things based off of like genre. You can kind of hear things differently based on that specific genre. So like which I really love what you're saying is like, as you serve your community, like basically as you're there to serve, like you need to consider your audience and serve them in the best way that your message can get across, get across to them. I've been in many like places and churches, and even from my own experience where like I've wanted to play the new and the the song that I know like is gonna make everybody cry and it's really popular and stuff, and then I try to play it and it doesn't land the same,
right?
And then there's been moments where me too, like I've gotten frustrated, like man, you guys don't know, like you guys are like so old, you guys are out of tune or whatever, like you guys don't know what's good, and it's almost like you're trying to fit like what is it like a
like the star and squares.
Exactly, you're trying to do that, and at some point like and it's always like a struggle going back and forth, because sometimes I felt like, okay, well, what's my actual purpose? My purpose is to serve, and how best can I serve? I need to like sometimes put my ego aside, and just meet people where they're at.
Exactly.
But then there's like also the other balance, which is like, we also can't be playing like, songs from the 1800s, in 2024.
Exactly.
We can't just keep going back to that. There has to be like a progression, even if it's slow. There has to be like a forward progression.
That's true.
Into what's current, because like you said, if you're talking about like young people, you may not like that specific song or the style of the music or whatever. But if it's something that can serve people, like connect with people, then you almost have to put yourself aside.
That's true.
And kind of be able to reach out and be effective for them.
Yeah, and I think like the elderly are kind of getting what's it called? More what's it called? Acclimated?
Acclimated?
Acclimated. Words.
Alkaline.
Alkaline to like, hey, you know what? If the youth is worshiping, like, and I hate this song, like, that is like, that's okay. Like, I'm gonna let this song go. But I also think that this is like a big thing is like even like forget worship style and like culture and all that stuff. Like if you have to, like if they're like if they're playing a song you don't like or whatever, and you're like oh, I'm not gonna worship God because they're playing the song.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's more of like a heart issue versus
Right.
versus like I don't know, maybe like your preferences is like putting that aside and looking at your heart. Like that's kind of like saying like if they don't have an LED screen or like this certain guitar player that always plays my favorite guitar player isn't up there, it's like
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna worship, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you could say it's almost the same way. If they're not playing a song that you like or are used to, it's like if I'm not gonna choose to worship God even like in the song that I hate, it's like what's it gonna take for me to worship? You know, like there has to be like a certain line. Basically what I'm trying to say is like will you worship God even in like the songs that you don't like or even in things that you're not used to, you know? Will you choose to worship God?
Mm-hmm.
And that's sometimes very hard for people to get used to.
Right.
But yeah, I like what you're saying about how like we do have to move forward. We're not gonna sing these old hymns forever,
Mm-hmm.
and the generations are gonna move, and so just being willing to accept new things and to grow with the church and how it's going is huge. But yeah, man,
Yeah.
all good.
So it kind of reminds me of something. So maybe we can make this distinction, which is so you're talking about like, say people like there's like young people that like a new song, whatever, and you may not like it. We're talking more about genre, right?
Yeah.
About style, because we were actually having this conversation in a previous episode last season where we were talking about music, and we were discussing like, I think that like there was a couple songs that we had brought up that had like there was maybe one or two lines in the
That's
song
like
that are
debatable.
like
It's
yeah,
like,
debatable, like yeah, I'm not sure exactly how we feel, and we were like we went and discussed it and like just basically saying like how comfortable do we feel you know, singing that music. So I'm kind of curious with you, like I'm assuming that's what we're talking about, right? We're talking about genre, we're not talking about necessarily lyrics. So you being like the, you know, creative director, you know, worship leader, what's your guys' process for figuring out songs? Yeah, figuring out like good theology.
Is more for forgiving. I think that is a theological thing, like with the sloppy wet kiss and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's like the biggest. But or reckless love is actually like the next biggest. But I think the way we deal with it, I would say we're really lenient with it. The first church I led worship at was like reckless love. They wanted to change it to, what was the line? Instead of reckless love, it was like unconditional love.
Yeah.
But it's like, bro, I'm a musician. Like, this sounds stupid. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna say
it sounds
that.
weird, yeah.
What the heck?
Mm-hmm.
But I think in those moments, it's like you kind of have to get out of the way. And I know it's like hard because like reckless, does that mean God's reckless? Because in nature, it's like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
So you get in these huge debates. But I try to not stray away from like changing words. I try to like stick to the song.
Yeah.
Because like you got to think like the person who wrote it, like his intent wasn't like to backstab Christians. Oh, I'm gonna make this sing this crazy line. You know, they were singing it out of like they really thought this through, and this is like an art form that they thought through and wanted people to worship to.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't stray away from those. I know I used to because I had to.
Right.
But I usually don't stray away from like those lyrics.
Yeah.
Unless it's like maybe the sloppy wet kiss one.
Yeah.
If people are like, that was, I don't know. What do you guys think about that one?
I don't know. I think it's just like, yeah, it's just weird to say and weird to like sing. I think we were also talking about like stuff like that, like in the church, like talking about things like that, like you know. I just think it's just a little weird.
That one is like a little weird, not even theologically.
Yeah.
Like the reckless one, you could argue with that
general.
one, but in general, it's like sloppy wet. It's like you're worshiping, and it's like sloppy wet. That image is like, what the?
Yeah, just
Yeah. So it's like unforeseen kiss, I guess, is what they changed
Unforeseen
it. I will
kiss.
change that, but yeah, like, it would have to be something like that where I'm just like, what the heck is that, bro? Like,
it'd have to be like a huge like like this is gonna lead people astray.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like so
this word
distracting
doesn't-
that they're worshiping and just, what the heck is that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
So things like that. But other than that, I really don't stray away from like the original lyrics. Yeah, unless it's super weird.
Yeah, that's one of those cool things about like language and songwriting is that you get to explain things in your own kind of way and word.
Yeah.
And, like you're using your own words or using like poetic words or unconventional words. And some of them, sometimes they land, sometimes they don't land very well. And yeah, it's just.
Yeah. I get what she meant or whoever wrote it, but it's like a sloppy wet kiss isn't like, it's cute, like a father does to a daughter or something like that. But singing it like in a corporate worship setting is
is a little odd. Yeah.
If you listen to it, maybe, but I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. It's different. Yeah, it is different because when you're leading people in worship, it's like you have to like think about what other people are.
Right, because then you have to think about like, is it distracting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that kind of like going to throw you off, right? Or like, I kind of think about it like, what would like if somebody never went to church and decided to go to church, your random church, this one day, and they're having an experience where it's like they're singing songs, like that's weird. I've never heard people like sing songs in church. It's kind of strange, whatever. But I'm willing. And then you hear like some word and you're like, those metaphors sound really weird. I don't understand them. And maybe you hear somebody like talking about like a sloppy wet kiss and you're like, that might be really distracting. It might be like, that's kind of, that's odd. That's really, really odd.
Yeah.
Why are we
without like
that,
any context?
That?
It's like,
yeah, it's tough. Yeah, for sure. One thing that I was going to say too. So I think, as you were mentioning, like we were talking about earlier about trying to find the, some churches like trying to play only the latest and greatest songs and trying to chase that. And then you were mentioning like, we're not going to be singing the old hymns, you know what I mean? Like all the time. Yeah. I think they're like, if you look at the, a songbook, a traditional songbook, you have like 1,000 hymns, and the ones that are sung are only like a handful of them. A lot of them are like forgotten about, lost or whatever. And it's almost like some of maybe the more better ones are the ones that kind of connect with people, like those rise to the top.
For sure.
Yeah, and I kind of like, I'm thinking about this. I'm like, I think it would, for songwriters like yourself, like, and for others, I think the challenge would be to like make new hymns that are going to last a long time. Because like you'll hear a song that's really popular, and then like a year from now, like people don't want to touch it. That's true. Like an example would be maybe like Gyra. Everybody was singing and playing it for like the first year, and now people are like, it's
that wave. Or like Waymaker was one of those.
Your Waymaker, yeah, and you can list off all the songs. Yeah, but it's like maybe the challenge is to create a song that's gonna stand the test of time. That's so be sung like 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's hard, and so I think it's hard to determine until after the fact. Like for example, like all those like Cornerstone. Right. Like that was a hymn. Yeah. And probably went away for a while and then came back. Oh my gosh, the melody's so good actually, and the words. So then they revamped it. So I think it's like a test of time. Like you could write a song now that's like it's like gets huge and then all of a sudden kind of dies down, but then later on, who knows, like 20 years, they revamp it and it's like the same words, same melody. Yeah. And it's like a new style. Right. Because that's what we're doing essentially with all the hymns, True. It's not like when I was saying like moving forward and progressing in music, it's not like we're taking away hymns like, oh, I don't want to do that song anymore. It's more like keeping up with the style. Mm-hmm. Because some of those hymns are so powerful. Right. They're just like keeping up with like, how can we make it so it's like to the people now? Mm-hmm. And so that's what a lot of these churches are doing with these hymns. And I think it's amazing. And like I do that all the time. Like I'll tag so many hymns like in my set list. Yeah. Just because it's so powerful. Right. Like if you do like I love you, Lord, and I lift my hands. And then you go, what's that one song? Oh my gosh, I forget. But I love tagging hymns. Just like a small tidbit of a hymn after like a bridge or something is powerful. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's like a lot of really powerful ones. I think, one of the crazy craziest experiences in terms of like a older hymn. I think it might be like a hymn or older song for sure. But it's really random. But I was at a like memorial service for somebody that passed. Yeah. And they played In Christ Alone. Oh, nice. And dude, and something like maybe just the setting, or I hadn't really paid attention, or maybe it was more like I was able to see the concept of the song, the idea of the song, and how that applies to like this crazy, scenario and situation. So and it just like, it
it kind of opened my eyes, you know?
Yeah.
And I had like an emotional reaction to that song, you know? And I wasn't like necessarily going there like prepared to like, let me feel, you know, whatever. It was more of just like listening to the song and it just, you know, it just hit different. So
it does hit different, those hymns.
Yeah.
You know what I really love? That I always have to play for like, not have to play, sorry.
Yeah.
I get to play.
Yeah.
For like funerals and stuff is I walk in the garden.
I haven't heard that song.
I walk in the garden, or I come to the garden alone. Never heard that song?
No, I never heard that one. No.
Bro, so good.
It's a good one.
I think Elvis sang it one time.
Oh, really? Okay. So this goes way back.
Go way back.
Yeah, yeah.
Great song.
Yeah. One of them today that I was thinking through was like Come Thou Fount.
Oh, yeah, come.
Yeah, such a good song. I think
So
King's Kaleidoscope did a cover of it
yeah.
semi recently, and it kind of gave it like new breath and new life. And
Yeah.
yeah, same thing. It just like it feels different, you know.
Yeah.
But the lyrics and the power like are there, you know. I think that's what helps it like sustain.
Yeah.
That's what makes it like relevant because
Exactly.
you know like struggle and difficulty and all that stuff like it's
Yeah.
never gonna cease until Christ returns or something, you know.
Yeah.
Like, but it's these like human experiences that just will last a lifetime. So therefore, like if you tap into that,
Yeah.
it's still gonna be relevant, you know, 20 years from now, you know,
yeah.
40 years from now, 50 years from now, etc.
For sure. Yeah, and I think like there's an argument. It's like, oh man, like songs today like aren't as deep or like as powerful as they used to be, but like then you get like these songs like So Will I or something like that, and it's like, dang, that's like a profound song.
Yeah.
Like the way, like how did they word it like that in such a way that it tells the whole story?
Right.
Or like Living Hope, it's like this whole story. I'm like, these are powerful songs, still being written today.
Yeah.
And I think even though they're gonna have their fade out moment, like that like trendiness and then kind of decline, I think they'll come back again in a new style for sure.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
I'll throw one more in there. Highlands is a really good song.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Highlands.
same guy that
Same
wrote.
guy. Yeah, it's that dude. That guy's songwriting is really good.
He's a really good songwriter.
Yeah, he's really, really good. Hey, I'm taking a really quick break from this episode just to remind you that if you're enjoying this conversation or any of the other conversations that we've had on this podcast, to go ahead and give us a share, like the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, and pass it along to other people you know will be able to benefit and will enjoy this. Also, I want to remind you that you can follow us across all social platforms at SoCal Division. That's at SoCal Division. There you'll be able to find a lot of really good content, so be sure to give us a follow. All right, back to the episode. Shifting really quick, what's one of the worst sets you've ever had? Like we've all
In
have
worship
like
or
yeah
like
we
a gig?
Yeah both maybe. Yeah, we've all seen worship fail videos.
Oh
yeah. I think there's been a couple times where we wanted to submit some videos to worship fails of ourselves and some of our friends. Yeah, because of some serious bombings. But yeah, tell us
I'll
about
start
those.
with worship. There's one time I was playing at a church. I was actually playing drums though. But like, man, the sound guys, man. Freaking sound guy. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, blame it on the sound guy.
So like, because I had my click in my ear, but then also they forgot to turn off the house music. It was still in my ear too.
Oh.
So it was like combating clicks, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh, dude. So like the worship leader was like, all right, we're gonna start, and I was like, tss, tss, start off the song, but I could still hear the other thing. We're playing with the track.
Yeah.
So like I went off the track so hard, and they had it literally stop. This is like a huge church.
Yeah.
They had to stop the service. All right, we're gonna do it again. And dude, oh my gosh, it was
Were
so
people staring
bad.
at you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
everybody
felt
knew it was
so
you.
bad.
Yeah.
like huge church, like thousands, and I was like, oh my gosh, dude, I wanted to like run off the stage. And, like, cry in the restroom or something.
In the restroom, yeah.
But I was like, dude, it wasn't my fault. It's freaking sound guys. No, I'm just kidding. That was one bad experience.
Yeah.
And then another one was, actually no, this is a gig. So I was playing at this restaurant, and dude, like the battery, because I have a portable battery amp.
Yeah.
And I could just see the freaking LED green turn to red. I'm just like, it's about to turn off, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't decide to just go whoosh. It decides to like blow up. So everybody's eating their food, and it's this huge sound. And I'm just like, oh, dude. So then I try to charge it so I could keep going with my set.
Yeah.
And then it does the same thing twice. I'm just like,
Wow.
oh, I just want to leave this freaking restaurant.
Yeah. Did you get paid?
I got
Did
paid.
you end up got paid?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did they take a little bit off the top?
Nah.
Just a tiny bit, yeah.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
Might have been so bad. But no, yeah, so that was a terrible experience.
Yeah.
Anytime that it's like not your fault is like the worst experience because you can't do anything to help it.
Right.
And I think those are the two biggest ones, but yeah, there's for sure like a lot of things. I haven't had like a keyboard fall like during the set or anything like that.
Okay, yeah.
I think the biggest thing though, there was one where like the house music again, freaking sound guys. The house music was playing as the worship was starting, and they just like thought it was the music, so it blended. And so we were playing our set, and I was just like, dude, you don't hear like the
yeah.
And so it was like the second song where it finally turned off. And
Yeah, I
like,
gotcha.
What the heck, bro?
Yeah.
Anyways, good sound guys are a gem.
There, yeah,
Know what I'm saying?
for sure. Dude, if you say those sound guys one more time, Adrian's about to jump off across this table.
No,
you don't see him?
Adrian's a pro.
He's mad. He's red.
I wish I was a pro, but yeah, that wouldn't happen on my watch for sure.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah, but I feel you on those drum stuff, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's this one time I was at camp and I'm starting the song. You know the song "Make Me Brave"?
Yeah.
You make me brave.
Yeah.
You know the drum intro, right? It's like da 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 da
Yeah.
da 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 da.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm playing that, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as like Izzy's looking at me because he's the MD at the time,
Yeah.
and then he's like, "Okay, go for it." And he's like, "Give me the head nod." And he's like, "Go for it." As soon as I hit beat one, the downbeat,
Yeah.
the worship leader starts talking.
Ooh.
So as I'm doing this whole drum beat,
Yep.
the worship leader's talking, and he's just going.
But it wasn't like
going.
welcome to church, guys. Like,
No, it was like
okay.
he's like talking to the crowd, like
Was it like a mini sermon or what was it?
Yeah, like a mini sermon, basically.
Oh, like
So,
like a
yeah,
5-minute mini sermon?
yeah, basically, like so.
Oh,
I'm
really?
like running the whole intro,
Yeah.
on drums,
Yeah.
Yeah.
while the worship leader's talking.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you guess who the worship leader was?
What are your thoughts? First and foremost, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Be honest. Nobody's listening. We're just talking to these microphones.
Wait, okay. So you played right the intro,
Right,
and then
right.
the worship leader, not the pastor.
No, the worship leader.
Oh, dang! Who's the worship leader? I don't want to be like the worship leader. Should have been like.
What are your thoughts?
But what do you think? Yeah. What are your thoughts?
Whose fault is it?
Whose fault is it? If Izzy is the MD and he told you to start the song, ooh, that's hard. Because then was Izzy Izzy? If you're watching this, were you watching the worship leader to actually start the set?
He's asking the right questions.
Ooh.
Yeah, you got a detective hat on.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, so but I don't know, but I would say
Gut feeling.
I would have Izzy, if you're watching, you should have been like, hey, diet out. Perhaps. But at the same time, it could be that the worship leader was it Abraham? No.
No, he's sitting right in front of you.
Oh, Paco. Goodness gracious, brother. Wait, but why did you do that though?
I'm pretty.
If it was like a welcome to church, guys, let's clap our hands together, I would have got it. But if it's like a little mini sermon,
I'm pretty certain that I mentioned possibly to Adrian himself, said, "Hey, really quick, I'm gonna say something before the song starts, so just letting you know." Maybe I have selective memory. Maybe I'm fabricating things. I don't think so, but
I don't know. I'm having my MD look at me and he's like, "Go for it," and he's told me two or three times. He's like, "Go for it."
okay.
Go for it.
So here's the thing: did you tell the MD and not just the drummer?
Paco's gonna say he should have known.
yeah, he's my prayer partner. He should have known. Hey, wait! At that point, did we have in-ears where he was talking to us? I don't think so.
Yeah, we did.
Something tells me no.
Yes, we did.
Something tells me no.
Yeah.
Seems like some memories kind of going whack here.
Yeah. Selective memory. Yeah, that might have happened.
Could be. Maybe
That
you
might
didn't
have
hear,
happened.
because if you had a microphone, then you would have heard Izzy be like, "Start the set," and you'd be like, "Wait, no."
Right.
Could have been it. Maybe you just didn't have it in your ears. Maybe
It's possible. It's possible.
happens.
Well, I just appreciate that you have a lot more grace than other people in this room. Yeah, about this specific situation. Yeah, I will say that. Yes.
Yeah. It could have rolled out smooth though. But what happened though? So you guys kept going? Or?
I kept on going with the intro. There's no way I just stop in the middle of like this loud intro that I'm just going for. Yeah, so I'm just like, I'm just gonna go. And then as soon as he starts talking, I was like, "Bro, are you gonna stop? Are you gonna stop?" He's not stopping. He's gonna keep on going.
Adrian wanted his moment to shine. Let's be honest about it. Drummers, bro, just drummers. Yeah,
talking about sound guys. Let's talk about drummers.
Come on, man. Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah.
We were
shining worse.
together.
It's worse when they're one and the same. They're both the drummers and sound guys.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Wow.
Listen, Adrian. This is what I would have done. Okay, if I was you. Sure, whatever, blah, blah. You're talking. Just give a little symbol, build it up. We're building this up. Yeah, we're building up. We're building.
How long am I going to build for?
Because you would die out.
I won't say
that would be awkward, but it would have been better.
Yeah,
just die out. But
man,
it's a hard one.
I just gotta say nobody backed me up. You know, like
okay, you're right.
They could have been some ambiance in the background. You know, some
pads or something,
you know,
right?
Yeah, like if Izzy or somebody would have like followed and then died out together, and it's like, oh, that was not.
Everybody's just hands crossed, just looking at me like, "Bro, are you serious?" I'm like, "All right, cool. I guess it's my fault then."
Dude.
Hey, but that makes you think though. They had their hands crossed. They weren't ready. They were not going to go in because they must have known that something was being said first before they jumped in. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Church people. No, I'm just kidding.
Judgment calls.
Church. No, I'm just kidding.
You're right.
Yeah, man. Yeah. That's wild. But no, I mean, youth. That was a youth camp.
That was at a youth camp. Yes.
Was it WY?
No, it was like a divisional youth retreat or something. Yeah, nice. We're playing for the youngsters. Yeah, but it's all good though because clearly me and Adrian have gotten over it.
Right.
We've gotten past that already.
Sure.
Yeah.
We just laugh about it.
We do. Yes, we do. Yes. Funny, okay. That's some good worship fails for sure. Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure there's a lot more I could think of, but those are probably the two biggest things that I've had.
Yeah.
To me. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So really quick then, and just kind of transition a little bit more. So you've been doing obviously worship music for worship music and ministry for like a really long time. I'm sure there's been a lot of lessons that you've learned along the way. Do you mind sharing maybe some of those things that you've learned along the way? Something that maybe like something that you know now that you wish you would have learned at the beginning. Like I said, some of our listeners are young adults or like people that are new to music. Some of them are like more seasoned people.
Yeah.
But I really feel like it's important maybe to pass along some wisdom. I think especially with like younger guys and younger musicians, guys and girls, that are like, basically getting accustomed to this ministry, being in front of people, talking to people. All that stuff can be really intimidating, and there always can be like a lack of confidence. And I think confidence is really important along with other stuff. But maybe you don't mind sharing some stuff. Yeah.
There's like a practical side of leading worship, right? Like the talking points and things like that. Getting your set lists. I would say with that stuff, it just takes practice of doing it, just like anything. Like if you're gonna speech, or gonna give like a sermon or whatever, it's like you're not gonna go up the first time and just like do this bomb
crush it.
Yeah, you're gonna look back and like, oh, why was I doing that face, or like, why did I say things like that? So like, the more you lead worship, the more you'll get comfortable with that kind of thing. So that'll come with time. But I would say like, for sure, like knowing your word and knowing your Bible is beneficial to that. It's not like speaking moments, because then you're not just making things up. You're just like, oh, I read this, so like I want to share that with people.
Right.
Usually times when you read your Bible is when you're like, man, that's something that's been stirring in my heart, and I feel like God wants me to share this to the congregation. So there's that, and there's prayer, letting God speak to you. I think one of the biggest things I learned though was like leaving space for God to move. Because I used to be very set list heavy, where it's like, it felt like a concert almost. So it's like, first song, all right, now the MC comes up, second song, third song, fourth. It's like, it's very robotic. And I used to have like maybe 4 or 5 songs, but now I just do like 3 or 4 songs and like leave one song where it's like you leave space for the Spirit to move, where you want to do the bridge 30 billion times, whatever it is. Yeah. But like you leave one song to be like, okay, like if the Spirit's moving here, like, let's just pour into that. Or like tag a hymn or like a song that everybody knows, How Great Is Our God, whatever.
Yeah.
So I learned just to leave that space, and then not always having to, not always having to say something or like feel the need to fill a gap.
Yeah.
Just like letting the drone go, letting the guitar swell, like leaving that space where God talks to people individually, where you don't actually intervene. You just have the worship music and you just let the Spirit move. I think that's probably the biggest thing that God has taught me this last year. And so that's been a huge difference because like the set lists don't feel forced. They feel like so natural, and it's like the breath of God is on it. And so that's a big thing. And it's like I used to battle because like if you're in a church if you're in a Hispanic church, it might be different because then you could just run. You just do it. You know what I mean? Like you could go like hours and hours.
Playing right.
If you're at like a church that's more like we're gonna end worship at this time, then sermon's gonna go here, planning center, whatever. Then it's like, well, where is the Spirit going to move within that timeline? And so, like I said, like leaving that song where it's like, this is where we're just going to leave space where anything could happen is more powerful than just going through the A, B, C, D, whatever. But I think that's a big thing. If you want to keep a timeline, but still allow the Spirit to move, is like leaving that song just to be open. Yeah. Yeah, or like, oh man, I'm really feeling like, shout to the Lord. This is where we're gonna sing that part, you know? Yeah, just letting that moment just ring out, and those moments are so powerful because people just like, you're giving people space to actually sing and like, But I think it's powerful. Yeah,
that's awesome. I think for me, what I've felt a lot of times is that as a worship leader, maybe you felt it or not, but like sometimes you feel. I think you mentioned already, but like you feel the need to have to say something. Yeah. Like, and that's just in general. I think probably us as individuals, as people, we probably don't always feel comfortable with silence. You know what I mean? Like if there's like a pause or a silence, like we're pretty quick to feel it. You know, you're trying to feel the silence because it feels weird. It's unnatural to us. Right. And I think in playing and singing, like I have felt many times like, oh, I gotta say something. This is really weird. You know, like I if it's too vulnerable, it's too weird. Right? It's just like odd. That makes sense. But you're pointing out to something really important, which is like maybe be comfortable in those silences. In the silences. Yeah. Maybe like a specific lyric as we're singing just now is hitting somebody at the moment, or it's like resonating with somebody.
Yeah, dude. I think those are just like powerful movements because like when you hear. Especially when people are really engaged with worship, when you have those like little spaces and you hear like the little prayers and like people singing their own song. I'm like, dude, that's what like true worship is to me, because everybody's in their own little lane talking directly to God. Right. So leaving that space is so good. But the thing is, it like takes time to get there culturally, or like it takes time to get people in that space where they could open up and like worship on their own. For sure. Right. There does have to be that guiding aspect as a worship leader where you're like, let's sing out this part and like this part of the song means this. But it takes, when you get to that moment of like as a congregation, as a church where everybody's just able to sing their own song and essentially lead themselves to the presence of God without you having to help as much. Is like, those are powerful moments. And I think if like silence, if you like make it awkward, it'll be awkward. But if you like intentionally plan that to be silent, it's like, dang, those are super nice moments.
Yeah, for sure.
Rush moments. Yeah. So you have a killer band doing the little swells, you know? Swells. Pads. Yeah. The little chimes. Right. Wind chimes.
Just over and over. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Let's just do maybe like 2 more questions and then we can we'll wrap this thing up.
What you got? Dude, are we gonna use these or what the heck is up with these?
Yeah, those are there. Those are there for a reason. Wait till the very end.
You guys are sponsored or what?
You know what? We're not sponsored, but we would like to be. So nice. the Paqui Chip Corporation, if you're listening, you know, we love your products. We love them. We consume them. Right. We use them, of course, a lot. And we would love to receive your sponsorship for this. And just so you know, obviously we are a nonprofit, so by sponsoring us, you're helping the Salvation Army. That's right. Achieve its goal and its mission. So Pocket Chips, the ball's in your court.
That's right.
What you gonna do?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Here's the last serious question. So my last kind of more serious question is, so we talked about the different generation, generational kind of gaps, you know, older people and then like younger people. Right. Is there anything as a worship leader you would want to say to the older generation? in terms of music, in terms of maybe style, in terms of any of that type of stuff, or misconceptions, addressing some of those. And then also, like, is there anything that you would want to say to, like, younger audiences? Yeah. Maybe there's something there.
Yeah. I would say to the older audience, don't be afraid of change. That would be like the phrase is don't be afraid of change, because change is inevitable. As long as it's for the glory of God and it still glorifies God. What's that saying of like you change the what's that word? It's like you don't change the message, but you change the way the message is received.
Yeah, like the delivery.
Yeah, the delivery.
Yeah.
You change the way it's wrapped
yeah.
up and packaged.
Yeah.
But it's the same message.
Right.
And so don't be afraid of that change. If there's a change where it's like, whoa, they're going away from God, like this is not good, then that's a different type of change. But yeah, I would say that just don't be afraid of change. The next generation is coming, it's already here, and it seems like Gen Z is like going to be on fire for God.
Yeah.
And I would say to Gen Z, man, just keep looking towards God. It's like, as cheesy as it is, there's so many different avenues that want to pull you and distract you. And it's kind of hard to like look at what's real, especially like in the postmodern world that we live in. It's like my truth is my truth. And it's like, well, then what is truth really? Mm-hmm. So there is one truth, which is Jesus. Mm-hmm. He's the only way. And so really just sticking on their Bible. But yeah, I think it's a dangerous world for sure that we live in with people like being really honest, but like people thinking they're like animals. And that's a really big thing in schools because a lot of my friends are teachers and they're like, one of the students thinks she's a cat. She just meows everywhere. Like,
right.
Brother,
right.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
And so that whole movement is just insane. So I would say just keep to the truth, which is the Bible, which is Jesus. Yeah. And look to God. And that's it.
Sweet, man.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude. Thanks for that, man. Really, really good stuff. Really, really good conversation. I love it. All right. So here's the last. This is how we're going to end it. This is the last one. Okay. So what I want to know, is, out of all the songs that you've heard, just in general, what's the one song you wish you could have written? Like it could be any song from any artist, whatever. Yeah. But is there a song that you're like, man, that song is like the best song I've ever heard in my entire life? I wish I would have written that song. As I'm opening up a bag of Paqui chips. Because of what? Just go.
Bro, I'm so scared. Like, why are you opening those bags for? I would say like the one we mentioned, So Will I. Mm-hmm. How beautifully it's written. Yeah. Bomb. So good. Yeah. And Rainbow Connection, of course. Yeah. Just kidding. Yeah. No, there's one song actually by Willie Nelson too. It's like I wish I would have told you. It's not even a Christian song. Whoops. Right. But I think it's a really good song. It's like, I wish I would have told you how much I loved you, all this stuff. Yeah. But that song hits home. It's like, I wish I would have told you that I just loved you.
Wow. Yeah.
Bro, come on,
dude. You sound like a hopeless romantic.
Maybe I am, bro. Maybe somebody hurt me.
Maybe, yeah. What's her name? Just kidding. All right, for sure. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So if you're down, if you're willing, I would love for you to be able to maybe eat one of these and then sing one of those songs that you. Yeah. So just consume one of them, and then we'll let it sit for about 30 seconds, maybe a minute, and then we'll just feel it out. We'll see what it sounds like.
It says "freaking hot" on the package.
Right. I feel like our audience will enjoy it. Yeah, I mean, are you down for it?
But yeah, I'll do it.
Cool. Let's do it.
All right, pull up the lyrics, y'all.
Okay, so so you get to choose whatever song you want.
Really?
Yeah, it's open to. Okay. Yeah. Huh? Can we do? Let's do "So Will I." Let's do "So Will I."
Let's do it.
Okay, so put in just. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. We want the chip to kind of, sink in a little bit. Yeah. How's that sitting?
Bro, I hate hot stuff. I'm like Mexican, but like not with the hot stuff.
Let's go.
God of creation, There at the start, before the beginning of time, with no point of reference, you spoke to the dark and fleshed out the wonder of light. And as you speak, 100 billion galaxies are born. No. In the vapor of your breath, the planets form. If the stars were made to worship, so will I. I can see your heart in everything you made. Right. Every burning star, a single fire of grace. If creation sings your praises, so will I.
There we go. Come on, give it up. Let's go.
Freaking hot, bro.
Let's go.
There it is, y'all.
There it is. There we go. If you want to sing like Jordan Rodrigues, carry a bag of Paqui chips with you.
Right.
Yep. And you'll hit those tones, those high notes.
It does open up the nostrils.
The nostrils, right? Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, awesome, bro. Thank you so much for jumping on this episode.
Of course.
Is there anything you want to plug? I don't know if you want to like maybe give out your Instagram handle, also your Facebook. Don't
Facebook
follow
is,
him on
cryptocurrency.
cryptocurrency. If you want tips on how to become a millionaire off crypto,
you guys can follow me on Instagram. It's just what is it? Jordan Michael Music. That's what it is. Yeah, Jordan Michael _music.
Let's go. Yeah.
I got a new show coming out on ABC.
Is that right?
ABC's not. No, I don't. Actually.
Oh man, I was about to say I wouldn't be surprised, man. You're very talented.
Nah.
Yeah. All right, bro. So thanks so much, man.
Cool.
All right. See you guys. Peace.
Thanks,